We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome back to These Unprecedented Gays, your go-to podcast for all things queer, where we unpack the nuances of LGBTQ plus life in these unprecedented times.
That's why, by the internet's definition right now, is that you just stare at the map of you going from wherever you go.
Okay, well, I will what's the opposite? I will cook dog. I will cook dog.
It's like these bro videos of them, like, I raw dogged it from...
Which means it's like
city to next.
You went at the lowest, like you were just like
sitting.
You didn't even have your phone. It was just like
your phone's away, no internet. All they're doing is looking at the screen.
Right. Yeah.
I have my Kindle. I have my Nintendo Switch. I have my iPad. I will be more than occupied for 12, 11 hours.
He's got his vibrator.
I can say, listen.
That's a great idea for a plane trip.
Hey, just keep texting me.
Yeah. It's like one of those Bluetooth ones so somebody else can control it.
Can you imagine?
Give it to the flight attendant.
That would make your flight go by really
push
quick.
Push this button every time you want to, like, surprise me.
Or he's like falling asleep and you're like, brr.
But what is, like, logistically though, like, would you have to have it in before you go on the plane, or would you put it in on the plane?
Maybe after security, before entrance.
Right. Yeah, because you'd have to, you'd have to go in. Well, maybe after, like, before you board.
This is a body cavity search issue.
Well, I'm Paul.
I'm Joe.
And we're These Unprecedented Gays.
We talk about the most amazing things.
I know, right?
Surely someone has done that. Like,
I'm sure somebody has had
For the listeners, this is all about the Europe trip for Nick and
I mean,
Joe
the Europe trip, the Europe trip with a butt plug in your butt. I wouldn't be able to, because if there are things down there, there are other things that are in a manner of erection. So it would be, like, very hard, literally, to, like, maneuver through things, because it'd be very uncomfortable.
Unrelated, but are you a part of the group, the Airport Hotties group on Facebook?
The airport what?
People take creeper photos / hot photos of unsuspecting victims in the airport, and it's just like hot guys.
Is it like DILFs of Disneyland?
Some wearing, like,
bulgy.
It's always a bulgy outfit, or maybe they're not wearing underwear, or just or maybe it's the pilot, or maybe it's a person that's working, a flight attendant. But it's just like super hot people that are in the airport.
So your goal is to be on it.
Paul's thrown.
I want to be on the Airport's Hotties Facebook group.
You want to be part of the group, or you want to be have your picture on there?
But I would love one day to, like, be scrolling through Facebook and be like, "Oh, that's me. What's that photo? Oh,
it's
somebody."
Easy. Just bring a roll of $50
and put them in my crotch. Yeah.
Or you can just ask someone, "Hey, can you take this picture of me and post it on Hot People of Airports Facebook group?"
The Airport Hotties.
There you go.
I'd be afraid of them going, "Why the fuck is he here?"
I'll do it. I'll take a picture of you
my insecurities
and put it on there for you.
I'd be like, I'm on the Airport Hottie because it was hot as fuck. There was no air conditioning in there, like in Paris for the Olympics.
Oh my god!
you like that segue?
I mean, I was there last year around this time, and it was hot as fuck.
Did they not have air conditioning at part?
For the most part, Paris does not have a lot of air conditioning, especially in, like, hotels and restaurants, unless it's a new build.
Yep.
It's a more modern build.
Restaurants,
a lot of
100%.
the hotels and stuff don't have it, and restaurants don't have it, so it's like you just have to be used to it.
I was wondering, did the Olympic Village have air conditioning?
No.
Oh.
So we're going to get into, like, the whole Olympics and everything, but because that's going to be our topic for this week. But first, let's do our little... How was your week, Joe?
It was very bland. There was not a lot that went down. We watched Olympics and then had pizza on Friday, and then it was pretty low-key. I started playing Dreamlight Valley again on my Nintendo Switch because it's been, like, I don't know, like 5 months or so.
What valley?
Dreamlight Valley. It's the Disney.
The Disney.
The Disney one.
Okay.
But they, like, keep adding, like, expansion lands to it, and I was like, I probably should like get back on that, and so I've been doing a lot of playing. Of
Okay.
that. And that's about it. I've been avoiding the heat, the San Diego heat. We'll put it that way, because it's like 80,
Yeah.
which is very warm.
Paul, I think you would like this game because just like is it
Farmville.
our Animal Farm, Animal Planet, Animal
Crossing.
Crossing.
Oh, okay.
There's no real like there's no way to beat the game.
Yeah,
right?
there is. You have to. Oh my god, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
All he does is fish and farm.
You have to do your Dreamlight tasks so that you can get the Dreamlight, so that you can unlock the different biomes and banish the Forgotten.
Okay. Is it kind of like Farmville?
A little bit, like, so the whole entire premise of the game is that like your character is you. It's like a little, what are they called, avatar or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And like the valley is where all the characters live, but they have been like cursed by this Forgotten, and the Forgotten is this they all forgot who they were or whatever. So you have to rescue them and bring them into the valley and help them remember. And then there's duties in order to level them up. And then like you have to like farm, you have to fish, you have to mine rocks, you have to do like foraging and other things to like level them up to get new quests and tasks to do.
There's no fighting.
It's kind of Minecraft.
It's farming, foraging, and fishing.
And,
the 3 Fs.
And
And four,
There's
if you
no
want 4, or fisting, I mean.
and then I don't know, come up with one about like breaking rocks.
That's foraging.
No, foraging is when you collect the stuff on the ground.
Fracking.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
The next expansion pack is going to be RuPaul.
Hello.
That's all I've been doing. What have you been up to?
So
Oh, you had more fun this week.
Nick came over and watched the DCI Championships
We had a blast.
Drum
with
Corps
Andy.
International
Oh, yeah, that's right.
World Championships.
I
in
told
Indiana.
Joe how much fun I actually really had. Like he can vouch for me.
Except the live stream was really bad, so I kept like.
Yeah, Nick was saying
Pausing
like
up and-
because I was like, oh, was it like the connection to the internet? He was like, no, because you guys were watching commercials and it was totally fine.
Yeah,
Right.
it was the live stream from their
That's
satellite.
so
I think.
annoying.
That was really bad. So
Yeah, but you guys watched it, right?
Yeah.
You were
it's the
able to
only
watch
channel
it.
that covers it, so you don't have a choice.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a monopoly.
But
So I mean, other than that, we also like Andy got a new mixer.
Ooh,
He's
so
very
mix a
happy
lot.
about.
so it makes a lot.
It's named a Sunny D mixer.
Okay.
I had my incredible customer service experience from the manufacturer of this mixer.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us what happened?
Well, just that they gave us, that they gave me.
And tell what the name of the company is.
Well, it's Ankerstrom, which is a Swedish mixer company owned by Electrolux.
oh.
They've been around since 1940s. That model is not that different from what they made in 1940.
in 1940. Wow.
And they're warranted for 7 years. They're workhorses and really cool. Better than KitchenAid is the general consensus. But I bought a refurb one, and when it arrived here last week, when we were recording, it actually arrived right before. It had some travel damage from it, and it wasn't functioning properly. So we sent it back, and the next morning they wrote me, and they're like, "Well, we're just going to send you a brand new one. You don't have to worry about it."
I love that.
What color do you want? So I was like, love a good customer service moment.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Also,
Makes
especially
you-
saving
it's
money.
Yeah.
$100 difference.
Yeah. Oh
It's
my god,
crazy.
it's amazing.
So we also ordered some costumes because we were going to the symphony on Friday night. And
Costumes?
Yeah, they're it's 80s night
Okay.
at the symphony, so they're having a costume contest, and a lot of our people in our friend group are going and stuff. So we do this every year with
Okay.
our friends, and we get a bunch of tables, and then we pick a night, and this was the night that they picked, and so we have our 80s
Oh my god,
gear.
yes.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that's Andy's, and mine is like a windbreaker
I
kind
love
of
that. Those are
outfit.
fun.
Very pinks and blues and stuff like that.
Ooh.
I look like I was a breaker at the Olympics.
Yes. Get it. Ray gun.
Ray gun. And I also got a mustache to go with it. A very
No, you-
80s mustache.
Oh my god.
So-
He looks like the motorcycle cop from the Village People.
Did
Which
you
is
come with
fine.
spirit gum?
It probably had like to get it off. I don't.
Spirit gums to help put it on.
Oh well, I think it's like a one-time use kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then,
Just be careful because
so-
if you sweat.
Pre-coated. But
Yeah.
then he got an inflatable boombox.
Oh my
And
God,
a
I love
inflatable
that.
boombox to go with my costume, so I'm very happy about that.
Are you gonna do some breakdancing?
I can kick a little something for you.
Do a little ditty?
Yeah, exactly.
Bust a move?
Yeah. So that was my week. It's been kind of boring too. And
No. You went to Sasha Velour.
yes. So,
Ma'am.
for those of you who watch the races of the drags, we saw season
Of the
9
RuPauls.
Of the RuPauls. We saw season 9 winner Sasha Velour.
She was season
And
9.
in her world premiere.
Yeah, season 9.
It was that long ago. Mm-hmm. That was 7 years? Oh my God.
Yeah. So she's doing a show in La Jolla. Where they have a lot of great shows that have come out of there that went to Broadway. So like Summer, the Donna Summer musical, Come From Away, which won at Tony's, and everything.
That's right.
So
And then
it's,
Redwood.
That's going. But it's still going to Broadway. So there you go,
Girl.
but she has a new show that she's working on. It's called Velour, and it's a little bit about like drag art piece history, somewhat.
She's like telling the story of drag through her own personal
that's cool.
experience.
Yeah, I've never seen her wear this many wigs before.
Oh, she had wigs. Okay.
Oh yeah, she had
Because
wigs.
she's usually bald.
Right, exactly. So it was a very interesting show.
I was gonna ask,
It was only the second night it's been performed, and they're obviously still working it. Like they're tweaking some of the tech. There's really cool use of technology.
Yeah, there's some really cool uses of technology. They have a lot of great songs. She does lip syncing. She does songs by like Portishead, Bjork. Some like
spoken
some really
word too?
great, like
Yeah, kind
Or
of.
like dialogue?
there's dialogue and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's some uses of like she's flying through the air and stuff and everything. So it is very interesting. I just felt like I don't know if it's ever going to get to a Broadway feel.
It may not. Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of worked in almost this cabaret.
Correct.
setting.
It was like
a great
eclectic.
little cabaret act.
Yeah.
But it's also like usually when you see drag, it's at your community venue or you're going to like a show where they rent out the hall and a traveling group comes through.
Yeah.
But this is really cool to see like a really intricate set designed around this artist and some of the things that you can do when you have that. And it's a different way to look at drag.
And the set is intricate, but it's also still very sparse in the way that they did it. So I was like, okay, some choices I would have been like, okay, you're still working on this, I get it,
Right.
And it was very interesting because like there are two guys behind us, obviously homosexuals, but all they talked about the entire time were like different forms of drag race, and I'm just like, girl.
Were they younger?
No, they were older. Yeah.
So-
Did you give them the Paul look?
No, you weren't talking during the performance.
No, not during the performance.
okay.
Before the performance. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So, but yeah, it was a very interesting, and it was like it was interesting to see the crowd
Yeah.
because there was a lot of people who probably had
Season tickets?
season subscriptions.
Oh no! So like you got old white people named
Yes.
Donna and Frank.
Listen, I love that about the La Jolla Playhouse and the people that continue to subscribe.
But also, I didn't know that they were going through so much construction over there.
Right.
So, like, you had to park.
My old parking lot is now like 3 buildings.
Yeah.
that they built since the last time
And
we
so
went.
now you had to park down the street to
Yes.
get there, and then you had to take a shuttle to get to the La
Yeah,
Jolla
the
Playhouse.
UCSD, that whole area. So like UCSD, Torrey Pines, they're putting there's like innovation research like buildings on I think Torrey Pines Road or whatever. Because if you keep going, you like you end at T into like what is this junction called? Like you hit
A T, yeah.
T. If you turn left, then there's like way more building as well. So that whole area putting a bunch of development in.
So Nick, you'll appreciate from the stagecraft of it, one thing they really have to work out is they were using these pin spots, follow spots, and they narrowed it like just to her face, but she moves around a lot, so the whole time there's like open up that spotlight a little
Follow
bit.
your light.
It made you dizzy watching them try
Yeah.
to keep this light on her.
Yeah, open it up.
Well, not only that, but there were times when it needed to be opened up because there was a sort of a reveal or something like that, and they didn't, and it's like you kind of missed it.
So was it like? Would you recommend going?
I would recommend it depending on how much they get done further down the road.
How many more days is it there?
Even a few. It's playing for a
couple
few
weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they announced that they were workshopping it. Like at the beginning, they were like, we did our premiere last night. We spent the whole day re-engineering things.
Wow.
Our production team is in the audience taking notes today. So you're going to see this show for the first time and maybe even the last time because it'll change.
It'll
again.
change, yeah.
I mean, I think
those
that's
are fun shows.
Yeah, at least they're honest because I feel like you go into that with an expectation. Mm-hmm. So if then you're like level set, like when you're before they start, they're like, hey, this is maybe what you think. It's not that. So just
it looks like they're expanding it to September 15th. So maybe we should try to go. It got expanded.
It's a show.
She's amazingly talented.
I was like, if Paul isn't giving rave reviews, I ain't spending my money.
She's also really known for videography and design, so she's done some of the graphics.
I would love to
she's
see
done
it.
the videos.
The costumes are really cute. The other three drag queens, 2 drag queens and the drag king that are in the show, are really good.
Yeah.
And they come out, they're the crew, and then they get their own chance to shine towards the end of the show, which is a lot of fun.
Was it like 90
the most
minutes?
Uplifting part of the performance. It just gave you energy.
They said it was a 90-minute drag spectacular, and I was like, at the 2-hour mark, I'm like,
no.
It was 2 hours long.
I was like, one of the things you need to work on is getting it back down to 90 minutes.
A soft 90.
Yeah.
Shows that are 2 hours with no intermission give my body anxiety because my bladder.
They actually told us you can go up and go to the bathroom anytime. That's what they were telling us as we walked in. So,
which threw me off, and I was like, "Why did you just say that to me?"
Because this show's
now I know.
you might as well think of waterfalls.
They'll go chasing them.
That's what I was gonna say. So yeah, you know that 2-hour anxiety, you're gonna have 5 times that on the plane.
No, because I can stand up and go to the bathroom.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so it's time for. But does she eat? All right. I don't know if we have music for that yet, do we?
No, actually, I still have to get the recording of him going, yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yes, I can send it to you. I have it. It's saved.
Okay. So for this week, this is probably going to come out like after a while, and like this is already passed and everything, but like right now it's very current.
We're current. It's fine.
So, is the pictures of JD Vance in drag at Yale.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I guess Donald Trump has a type. He likes his blondes, young blondes and everything. I mean, it's true because, you got Ivanka, you've got... But there's a couple of pictures online that got released of JD Vance in drag when he was at Yale. And I'm like... Oh, with your shake and go wig, girl. But there is one where he looks like he's kind of feeling himself and holding his hair almost like in a ponytail.
That man is legit like flip flop. He there was his roommate that had an interview and was like, this guy is lying to you about everything.
Well, because he did have a very deep friendship with someone who was trans,
right?
And it's like, okay, so now you're turning your back on those people.
But the man, JD Vance, has gone in the past 3 or 4 years from hating Trump to now he's the vice president. Well, it's dude,
I really want to be just a fly on the wall in Donald Trump's office or his airplane or whatever, his Jeffrey Epstein airplane.
Oh he's probably pissed the fuck off because he's like, oh shit.
Well, yeah, and somebody was I forget what they were saying. Oh, they're like, oh yeah, they're calling you guys weird, and Donald Trump's like, no, they're only calling JD Vance that. That's not me.
I know.
And it's you're gonna throw your running mate under the bus already.
Right, and then it's all about the size of the crowds too. It's you are a child.
Well, his crew, his whole Donald Trump's team told him was you got to stop attacking on these her race, crowd sizes. Yeah. Nobody cares about that. You got to go to the issues. But he's not,
and it's you are so dumb.
He just recently had a rally, a small rally in a 2,500 person seat venue, and he was supposed to be talking about the economy and all that kind of stuff, and he got on this they don't know how he got on the topic of rape and immigrants and everything. It's like, you cannot trust Donald Trump to do this on his own.
No, he can't stick to his script.
But, so looking at these pictures, I don't like that skirt and I don't like that necklace. But did she eat?
See, if it were anybody else, I would say yes, because it's like, get it, girl. And like, what was like, pounding the sofa, or what are they calling her? What is it, sofa
queen?
Anita Sofa or something?
Oh, yeah,
I don't
probably,
know.
something like
Some
that.
dumb name. Like, if it were any other person, I'd be like, yes.
What was that? It was a great name.
Yeah, you said it.
Anita Sectional or something.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, since it's JD Vance, absolutely not.
But, okay, so...
No eating.
So what he's giving me in this is he's giving me, I just listened to my first Cure album, and so I think I'm goth. You know? So...
Because that would have been about the time. He's, what, 38?
Yeah. So that's
39?
that's the vibe I'm getting. So I'm going to be like, no, she didn't eat.
She didn't eat. I want to ask you, when you were talking about the Sasha Velour thing, did she eat?
So, okay.
Because I feel like it's a no.
Is
it a no from you, dog?
So, okay, I'm going to say she nibbled.
Oh.
Okay,
No.
she noshed.
I'm going to disagree with you. All right, I know it's not polished yet, but she put together a lot of really incredible art, and it takes a lot of courage and innovation to do a one-woman show as a drag performer.
I mean, it's not technically a one-woman show.
It was mostly, the first 90 minutes, the advertised 90
The
minutes.
90 minutes! But I'm like, a one-woman show means there's nobody else on the stage with you,
Right.
and you don't interact with anybody else, and like,
Well,
She's
it's
doing
like an
something
art
that,
exhibit.
like Bob the Drag Queen can do a stand-up routine.
Yes.
Bianca
Right.
Del Rio can do a stand-up routine. But this was performance art, and that it's hard to do something that has mass appeal no matter what you do.
Right.
And it was engaging. Like, it wasn't like, okay, I'm getting really bored now. There were
Right.
moments that were just really, really good.
Which is different than JD Vance, who is like actively trying to be against all this stuff, and then like shit comes.
But
out
he
of
did
that,
it.
like, you did this.
But again, it's like, it is just gold for the Harris Walls campaign, because it's just like, thank you so much for this free advertising.
Okay.
Window to the walls. That's how you remember.
Yes.
So, all right. So,
She
JD
did
Vance
not
and
eat.
drag
JD
did
Vance did
not
not
eat.
eat. No.
Sasha Velour and drag.
Sasha
did eat.
Velour had an appetizer.
I have a Celine Dion. Did she eat when she dissed Trump for using her song?
Oh, fuck yes.
Oh, yeah.
And did she eat when she performed at the fucking opening ceremony at the Paris Olympics and we all bawled?
But
Yes.
I'm like,
Now she has a new show in Vegas. But anyway.
But I'm like, I am so, like, she ate when she was like, but really that song?
Yes.
right?
I'm like, but it is the perfect song for a sinking ship.
But also the fact it wasn't even her. It's like the team of Celine Dion.
Right.
Like Celine. This is Celine Dion's team account or whatever. Like,
But like, again, it's happened to him before. Rihanna's told him, "Don't use my shit."
Trump?
When he, yeah,
What
because
song did
he
she
used
He's had
"Please
a-
Don't Stop the Music"
Nobody
at a
wants to
rally,
use music.
and she was like,
Don't do that.
Don't do that because I and none of my team would ever be caught dead anywhere near one of those rallies."
get it, Fenty, Miss and Rihanna, Fenty Queen. Yes.
Yeah, and then like you've got Paul McCartney or I forget who else was it.
Is it you two or Paul McCartney? I can't remember. But
Bono?
And then there's Isaac Hayes's estate is actually set at cease and desist because he uses "Hold On, I'm Coming."
Who's Isaac Hayes?
He was the guy who wrote
Hold On, I'm Coming.
Shaft, and very like in the 70s
Okay.
blaxploitation kind of
Okay.
like funk and
Yeah.
everything.
Okay.
But his estate set cease and desist.
Get it.
To Trump.
Good.
Because he keeps playing "I'm Coming," "Hold On, I'm Coming," and it's like that was a song he wrote.
Well,
So-
don't worry. He can still use Kid Rock
He's Lee Greenwood.
and YMCA.
So I was just like, okay.
So Celine ate. Yes. What other eaters do you got? Is that it?
That was it. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was my did she eat? And then okay, so now it's time for mouth to mouth. All right. What are you obsessed with, Joe?
So I alluded to it, but playing Dreamlight Valley on my Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
And then now I'm getting like I feel like every time I get ready for a trip, I'm like I need to look up and watch all the information on how to like optimize my packing and travel, like one bag travel, like backpack only. So I've been doing a lot of that again.
Okay, so like, are you taking like a full luggage, or are you just taking?
Girl,
like
I am taking my Quota Paxi 35-liter carry-on backpack, and that is it.
Oh,
She packs light because I wear a pair of pants, and then that's all I need.
How long are you guys there for?
10 days, 11 days.
10 plus.
So here's the secret is you can do laundry.
A laundry.
So I'm
bag
gonna
or
pack
something.
for 7 days,
We're staying in an area.
and that's
Okay,
sufficient.
so there you go. That's a good, because like that was one of the things we did when we were in Australia was we booked a place at the beginning where we were spending most of our time in Sydney that had
Washing
a
machine.
laundry unit.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we did it right before we left,
It's a
which
secret.
worked out great for us. You know,
My asterisk is, was it a washer-dryer combo? Because I had a friend client that was like just in London who said, we stayed in Airbnb, it was a washer-dryer combo, and because of that, the dryer takes like 6 hours.
Yeah, you have to do it overnight.
So if there's multiple people staying in the house, you got to make sure that if you're using the washer dryer combo, nobody's using it.
But I don't
Ours
even care.
no, it was a stackable.
It was both.
Yeah, so we had two different ones.
Because they were in a place that was like a washer dryer combo.
Even if
together.
there isn't, like, I will go to the laundromat. Like, when I was in Paris, I had to go to the laundromat because I sweat through all my clothes. But I was like, that's fine. You go to the laundromat. It's 30 minutes.
you have pizza.
You're done.
Okay, because like we'll
He
do
eats
it.
the pizza while he does the laundry.
I mean,
In
it's
Paris?
like, we're gonna be when we go to
Italy? Greece.
on our cruise and everything next year. Like we'll be gone 19 days, I think.
Oh my
or something like
God.
that. Yeah, or like 15 days. 15 days, I think.
No,
it's,
about 17 or 18.
yeah.
Holy shit.
So we'll probably
So
still pack
bad.
only just our rolling bag, our small rolling bag, and our backpack. And so we'll do laundry.
It's the secret, yeah.
But we
Yeah.
have some of our friends that are going on the cruise with us planning like costume nights. They're like, we don't have room for costumes.
Yeah.
I'm
It-
sorry.
No, thank
yeah, they're
you.
like, are you gonna pack we should pack tuxes or something? I'm like, I
No.
am not packing any of
No.
that.
Yeah.
Does the cruise
no.
call for it? Because I've seen like some of those like Atlantis cruise, the gay cruises, where it's like theme night every night. So you
They-
bring clothes attire for every night.
But for the Atlantis cruise, it's just a different color thong.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
It's a different
It's
jock
very
So
style
that's really easy
and
to pack.
harnesses, yeah.
Fluorescent thong, black and white thong.
Yeah. They're portable.
I'm
Yeah,
both,
exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
both nervous and supportive of Joe bringing one backpack to Europe.
Okay.
No, so here's the thing though too, like I don't need to have access to a laundry machine in the hotel because I'll just go to a laundromat. And like I prefer the backpack because we are going to get there in the morning and like we're gonna have to carry and schlep our stuff around. And it's easier to schlep without a roller when you're going through the streets. Remember when we were in New York and I had my backpack and you're like, oh, I could do a backpack.
Actually, a little pro tip. In large metropolis areas like London, they have places where you can store your baggage.
They do,
until...
yeah. But I don't trust that because I don't want someone to steal my
Oh
shit.
no, we did. Where did we do that? We did it in Italy,
did it in
right?
Italy.
Yeah,
The
like-
bag drops, yeah, because
Yeah.
you pay by the hour, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was fun. All right. Is that all
Yeah,
right?
so those are my things. What are you obsessed
Okay.
with?
So I'm obsessed with two things. First of all, I said this to you guys on Instagram, but it's this TikTok by Jules LeBron,
Yes.
where she explains how she's very demure, very mindful, and I love it. It's like this whole thing. It's like every time you want to be sarcastic and just be like, do you see how I answered that? I answered that very demure.
What did she? Wait, no. What did she say? Like, oh yeah, you're dressed up for the whatever. Like,
Yeah, you gotta-
You didn't go to a soup kitchen.
Right. It's like you have to dress, and you see how I did my makeup for work? It's very demure, very mindful. So I love that. And then the other thing is, okay, so from Trader Joe's, there's a cilantro dressing that is
Ooh.
really good.
Like a ranch,
No, it's just like a cilantro.
like salad
Like
dressing.
a creamy
Yeah,
cilantro.
like a creamy cilantro salad dressing. But we decided we were going to have gyro meat last night that we got at Costco.
Ooh, okay.
And like a soft taco burrito kind of situation.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any tzatziki sauce. So I was like, oh, well, let me check out this like cilantro dressing. So I mixed that with some sour cream.
Oh my god!
It was
Is it like a
great
green goddess sauce almost?
Well, kind of, because Greek goddess
Is
is a
that
couple of different
spinach?
herbs.
No, Greek Goddess has a bunch of different herbs in
Oh,
it.
the green ones.
Whereas this is just cilantro dressing.
Is it, so it's like really good.
It's really good. Though.
I love cilantro.
Yeah. It's a good dressing. So, and you can use it for so many different things. I'm like, I might even try to use it for like a marinade as well for something. So we'll see.
With
how
like
that goes.
some like chicken or something,
Probably, yeah.
or like beef
How does it compare to the Costco cilantro?
or any other meat.
I haven't tried it with the Costco cilantro
Yeah,
dressing.
that might be a Utah thing, but Utah, because it's competitive with like a restaurant there that's like a cilantro ranch kind of. Like,
Oh, is that
okay.
at the place that we went to? The what was
Cafe
it called?
Rio.
Cafe Rio. It was okay.
wow.
Andy's gonna bring some over for you to like try a
let
little
me
bit
dip.
of it.
Oh, it's thin.
Yeah, but then you put that in with some sour cream, and it
It's
makes
a little
great.
like a little thicker. That is cilantro. That's good. A little.
Steve won't like it.
I was imagining it to be creamier. That with sour cream would be
that's good.
majestic.
Yes,
That
So-
would be a good marinade.
I know, right?
Look at you
What else is great
thinking.
with it? Bread.
bread. Let's toast some of your bread.
Get
All
your
right.
bread.
So, the Olympic ceremony, closing ceremony was a couple of days ago. Just this
We are
past
done.
weekend.
We are done being Olympic.
No, we're only halfway. You still have the.
we saw the Paralympics.
Paralympics.
Oh yeah, those I will
Yeah.
cry every day watching them. They're so fucking motivational.
And but we went over to a friend's house on Sunday to watch the closing Olympics thing, and I was just like, it's 3 hours long, and we got
It
there.
was 3.
3 hours long.
Okay, but the entrance one was like 4.5.
The
opening.
opening one was like really long too, and I'm just like, me and Andy looked at each other like, we're not staying here this entire time.
What was? But like, is that where they have the say? It's basically just the opening ceremony in reverse, where they just take everyone back.
Like, this is such a great pineapple experience.
Yeah, exactly. But let's talk about some different things through the Olympics from the beginning all the way through, and some highlights and stuff like that. So we'll start with the opening ceremony.
Yes, she ate
Okay, yes, she did eat. There was some-
partially.
you know,
Nibbled, depending
No.
upon what you looked at. She ate.
right? Because I mean, I felt like it dragged on.
Oh, it was 4.5 hours. Yeah,
Right. And I didn't like this whole Assassin's Creed parkour thing they had going on where
Wait
like
for it. I
the
love it.
guy jumping through all of the city of
Oh
Paris.
no, I didn't like them. No.
And I'm just like and then like then he had to go through the Louvre and stuff, and I was like, I
just-
don't get that.
I just loved because I was like, oh yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
That
that,
was
was me.
great, yeah.
Like I was like, oh the boat docks, the BEAU boat thing where they all were
Retro
taking.
boat.
Yeah, I was like, I went on that cruise.
I know.
I was
So
like, look at me.
So I thought the only thing like I didn't really align with was it was trying to be fiercely French, like all this historical and locations, and then they would throw in like American movie stars, like Gaga.
Oh yeah,
I did not like her
it wasn't good.
number.
She didn't.
I loved it.
Did you?
I thought it was such a fun homage to that old school.
I felt like you would.
French
Because it's very
floofy, like what you see in those old French movies.
it's very like it had a very like cabaret kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
burlesque feel to it.
Should Gaga have done it? Absolutely not. Should they have gotten a French performer to do it? 100%.
like the French
Right.
girl that was in the gold. Now
Yes.
she ate.
Because
I don't know what her name
It
was.
was such a fun thing. But
Oh yeah,
it
the
was-
rapper.
She was
Yeah.
so good.
But
She
I
was
don't know why
stunning.
you have Gaga do it when there's plenty of French
For
performers.
views.
That was
They
my
have
biggest-
Gaga for
my
views.
biggest
Yeah.
feeling
That
about
was it.
Was like we don't need American drag queens. We don't need
We don't.
Let's celebrate France.
But actually, Nikki Doll is French.
Yeah.
no, I know Nikki
Yeah.
Doll was, but
So
there
they
were
had
other
mostly-
ones
yeah.
that
Yeah.
were there.
Yeah,
But-
I love that. I that was my big thing about any. You're right. Anytime there wasn't like French specific, because they went so hard on this like French idea and culture.
I will say this though, they did play a lot of like, especially during like the dance numbers and while the people were coming in, they did play a lot of French
Yeah.
artists. And so I was like, it actually made me think. I'm like, wait, they're playing Justice. Is Justice the dance
French?
group French?
Love
And I'm like,
Justice.
yes, they are.
Yes.
They played Air, and I'm like, oh yeah, Air is French. So I'm like,
It was
okay, this
it was
is kinda-
unique. I think a lot of the stuff that did was unique. They also were battling pouring rain, so like that's like a slip hazard. Like the people that were doing the can on the river, like that was like dangerous because
horrible.
because it was like that whole
They were about
mat.
to like slip and die.
Right. But then
Wait,
the guy
who's
that was
lady
playing the
that gets her head cut
piano.
off?
What's that?
Marie
Marie Antoinette.
I love that sequence
Yeah.
with the rock band.
People were like,
Yeah.
that's just rude. And it's like, how am I supposed to
that
know that's
really-
Marie Antoinette? I was like, she doesn't have a fucking head.
I know.
Yeah, and there's also like
Her
14
head's
of
gone.
them.
They
They
were-
were really cool.
God.
I love
Was she
that.
supposed to be holding a cake or something too?
Well, 'cause
Like,
that's her famous
That's
phrase:
her-
is
yeah.
"Let them eat cake."
right? No, but
from
that's what I'm
the
saying. I'm like, would they have known if she was holding like a piece of cake and then her head
with
in one
her head
hand and
being
her
off?
cake in another?
No,
Like,
no.
what
Like,
the-
no. That I love that one because it was camp, and then they had the drag, like the
Yeah.
runway thing, which was of course an uproar with like the conservatives with like, ooh, the Last Supper, and it's like you put Donald Trump as Jesus in
So-
the Last Supper, so chill.
So,
but it wasn't.
Just one question: how do you feel about it not being set in a stadium and having the boats and like having it in the city? I think that was a fail.
I do too because it was very boring, and they're just like waving on the boat, and I was like,
I think so this is me playing devil's advocate. I watched like the making of and like the leading up to it, and the concept of it being on the river was so awesome and incredible. I think it's really hard to film that
and make it exciting.
to make it exciting for the world.
Especially because you're trying to like they were moving at such a pace that didn't make it very
Exciting.
Exciting,
And you couldn't see all of the cool things they were doing because it was so fast and quick
and a lot
cut
of-
and that and the rain and all the shit.
and a lot of the stuff that you look at when you're watching them walk in is the fashion.
Yes.
Because they've got designers from their home country,
like Louis Vuitton or whatever, right?
Right.
Like the chests.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, so you didn't get a chance to see that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm
okay.
so
And I wish
sad.
that, and the cameraman I was very upset with because like, there were parts of it that I was like, I wish he had spent more time on
Yeah.
like with the people on the bridge who were like doing the dancing with like, but like on the
The
stilts
wobbly
and-
things.
the
Yes, I
wobbly.
was just thinking
Yeah.
that.
So the other critique I have of that, though, is more about the athletes, because some of these athletes are in sports where they're obscure and not a lot of people are going to be there, or they're in a location where there isn't a crowd, and they're walking into that main stadium on opening night with thousands of other
Right.
people
Yeah.
cheering them.
Right.
That's an
Now they're on
experience they
boat.
didn't get to have.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
You're right.
I
Well,
like
there's
the
a lot of-
stadium. I like the stadium because it is, and then it's like easier to watch. Like Beijing, that ceremony I think takes the cake for the last what was that 2008?
London was cool too.
Which one?
London.
I
I
thought
don't
London's
remember that
opening was
one.
amazing.
Yeah.
And I
I-
think Beijing's was too.
But just some the Olympics in 2000, the Winter Olympics in what 2000? It might have been 18. Was fun because it was like similar where they were just like, was that in Sochi? No, that wasn't in Sochi. I don't know where it was.
It might have been
The last one.
Nagano or Sochi. Or
I just think that they had this really cool idea, and if you watch the documentary they put on Peacock, you have a little bit of appreciation for like
Yeah.
that the idea they wanted to accomplish. I don't think they did it.
It's
but
hard to record
and
it
I
to
get-
execution.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the thing is it's like
You
it's
had to
a
be
really
there.
cool idea.
Yeah.
And had you had 1,000 cameras, that you could be the one that's like selecting every moment you're watching.
But you wouldn't be able to.
fantastic.
It would be hard to
There's
do it
just
live.
So much that they
Yeah,
were trying to do.
and it's also like you get like the Seine is a huge tourist attraction in Paris.
Yeah.
it runs right through Paris.
Yeah.
so it's like they were trying to utilize it somewhat for to make it different, so they could be a little bit more impactful. Because I don't
Yeah.
think outside of the Eiffel Tower,
Right,
there's
right.
not a lot of like interesting stuff happening.
Yeah.
You
And that's
know?
what I think what they tried to do is like, they positioned it where it's like, hey, all these attractions are happening on the sides.
Right.
So if you were on that boat, that would have been the place to see it because you'd be experiencing it and you'd be able to be like, oh yeah, look at that. Oh, look at that over there. Like the athletes probably got the best view. And Snoop Dogg.
I love Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was awesome.
My favorite was like they had him. He stole the show too because it's like, oh yeah, Snoop Dogg's here. And I was like, what the fuck is Snoop Dogg doing here?
$500,000 a day.
But like the man, he was like interviewing Simone Biles. He's like, oh man, you're doing gymnastics.
You did a good Snoop Dogg.
He's like,
They should have done-
DOGG.
Like he's right here.
Missed opportunity. They should have had
P-A-R-I-S.
Disney Quasimodo at the bell tower at Notre Dame.
Just yelling sanctuary.
Yes, they should have. in cartoon form.
Yeah.
Not a real person. It should have been a cartoon.
No, Snoop Dogg definitely stole the show
But-
because he was the best.
And I wasn't a fan of Kelly Clarkson and Peyton Manning. They really didn't
No,
need them.
Kelly
No,
Clarkson.
that was weird.
It was. I think the idea was. I mean, they're contractually obligated to do it, so like that's why they were there. But like, I think they could have had a better, like, panel.
Yeah.
They just needed people who could say more. They were speechless through most of it.
But they didn't
Well, and then you had like
understand.
Hoda
Who's the
Kotb and
human
Savannah
that does
Guthrie.
The ice skating with the big hair.
Johnny
Weir.
Weir.
Johnny Weir should have been. Johnny Weir always has the best like commentary.
Or Adam Rapon.
They should have been.
Yeah.
Let a super gay guy be your commentator because that's where the entertainment.
Me, okay, so we have to host the next opening
Yeah.
ceremony. Two Gays Takes opening ceremony.
So this is a gay podcast because we've already talked 15 minutes about this and we haven't even hit a sport yet.
I know.
We're just in the
know,
opening
right?
ceremonies.
The sports don't matter.
I will
Their
say,
outfits do.
I love the little dance party they had on one of the boats. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
that was so fun.
I don't think I saw
During
that
the
one.
opening ceremony, yeah,
Huh.
And it poured rain for that part, so they were troopers.
but they were like hitting those moves and everything. I was just
I
like,
love the boat thing. Trying to get 90 boats in a production thing to make that's what gets.
It
me.
was just very long. And then by the time they got, like, I always get really emotional when they do the Olympic torch. And like this year was actually, it was cool because they would run with each other.
but it just
Girl,
took so
but
long,
I like because they
girl.
started off with the person, and then they did it with the Paralympians, and then it was like, oh, they're running together, and I was like, I'm gonna just like start crying my eyes out.
But it
and
also
it was
did-
so emotional.
But we
but I
also
got-
watched it in 2x.
No. You were busy. This man, it was like, oh, I have a phone call, and I was like, get out of here. I need to watch this and cry.
But I also did not enjoy the fact that they went around with the Olympic torch in a circle.
Yeah.
like they
Where
went
were
in.
they going?
It was like they had passed it off to 4 different people in a circle, and then went
Just
right back
get
out
there.
the way they came.
But
Just get there.
then the old man, like the oldest Olympian that's still alive,
That was
I was
cute.
like, that's when I got a little verklempt. And then they
Okay.
light the fucking cauldron, and then Celine goddamn Dion is there. I was like, this is
Okay,
too
wait,
much.
Wait. Stop at the cauldron. It was a fake flame.
Was it?
Was it?
Optical illusion, lights and.
I love that even more. That it was.
Hey,
an
they
optical
sold
They
me-
illusion.
didn't want
I-
to heat the balloon.
Because I had
Yeah.
no idea how were they lighting. I didn't
Listen.
know. How are you lighting a fire with
The cauldron,
balloon?
she ate.
I mean, it was
She
very
ate the
cool.
fumes.
It was very cool and very creative. But
I
was
guess,
like-
you know what, now that I think about it in retrospect, it was pouring rain, so
If you-
fire would have been...
Yeah, but if you look, there was like a votive candle kind of lantern, really small, next to where the balloon was tethered,
Yeah.
and that was the actual Olympic flame, the real flame.
Okay.
Because isn't the whole thing that the flame is beast, like,
flame
it's
never
it's
dies.
right, it's
Yeah.
kept alive until the next Olympics.
Right.
That's why I get emotional. It's just so compelling.
All right, so there were a lot of events that stood out more than others. People were definitely wanting to be there for women's gymnastics because of Simone Biles,
Yes.
and Andrade, Jordan Childs. Andrade is from Brazil, and she was like basically the number 2 in the world.
Oh.
She's the one where Jordan Childs and Simone Biles bowed to her because she won the gold.
Oh.
on
She got gold the last time. When
Right.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so, people were wanting to see that matchup and see what happens. There was, of course, track and field because Sha'Carri Richardson was out
With
there.
her
and-
nails.
With
That
her
was the
nails,
best part.
Which is an homage to Joyce Joyner, Jackie.
Florence Joyner? No, I forget. I'll look
Another
it up.
Olympian?
FloJo.
Okay.
Florence Joyner. So, because she always had her nails done too.
I love that.
This was a huge year for LGBTQ athletes.
Yes.
Because they won tons of medals.
And they're hot.
The women won out of the U.S. medals. 65% of them were won by women.
Good.
So that should tell you something.
Uh-huh.
That
So
win
they can
medals.
run the country.
Okay, so men's basketball was huge, especially the U.S. team, because you have LeBron and Steph Curry.
It's
and-
interesting to see them like in Olympic settings though, because like you don't think of them like you're like, oh yeah, well they're like the best teams in America, so like that makes sense. But you're like, oh, they're Olympians.
But they almost didn't win gold.
Yeah.
Like it was like to the end where then Steph Curry came back and was Steph Curry, but they almost didn't win.
Yeah.
It was a fun game
This
to
is
watch.
the closest year for that. And they said a lot of it is that the NBA players are all playing for other countries, their home countries. So the talent level in the other countries has come
It
up.
kind of balances.
Right.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
very interesting
interesting.
because if you can't make the Olympic team in the U.S., if you are from another country,
You can go.
You go to that country, and you could possibly become.
I mean, get it.
an
Live your
Olympian.
life. Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool, though.
Like, why not? So this was also a very thirsty
100%.
Olympics because you had like Steven Nedoroskic.
He's my favorite.
Or the pommel horse guy.
Yeah, he's my
Or
favorite.
no, I don't care about nerdy guy Brody. Brody, like the gymnast, the guy on the the same
I
team.
disagree
Oh.
with you. I think because Brody was the gymnast guy that was like everybody knows who he is, and
I
he's
don't-
like the hot thirsty guy.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden,
You get this nerd.
you have this nerd
Clark
that's there
Kent.
just for the pommel horse, who nobody knows.
He's like an engineer or something,
Yes.
and like
I'll
He-
take Brody. You can have the nerd.
and he can do the Rubik's cube in less than 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But he's got glasses, and all you ever saw was him against the wall, sleeping, or
Best
like
memes.
just relaxing until it was time for him to do the pommel horse, and then something clicked in his head,
Love
and
it.
he got out there and did his shit with his arms that were like, "Okay, I see you, nerd."
because he can't see, so he does the pommel horse like basically blind.
Right, because he does it all by like.
Because his eyes are
Remember,
so terrible.
That's like the runner guy who was like, I have asthma and like all these other things. One of the runners.
Okay.
The track, I don't know if it's sprinters or whatever. He's like, so like anything is possible. And I was like,
And of course, we have to talk about the pole vaulter from
Oh, yeah.
France, who did not make it over because of his penis.
Poor guy.
there was like, my thing, like,
Anthony,
give me
Ammirati.
wrestling, give me
Yes.
swimming, give me diving, give me track and field, give me track cycling, because their legs are the size of my waist.
And I think like the gay community has always appreciated that, but this year it was overtly present. Like,
But-
we were celebrating the penis.
But good for them.
We were
like,
celebrating
listen,
this.
get the gays to like you, and your ratings will skyrocket.
So my new takedown of people, because I tell them they have a small penis by going, "Oh, you would have done really well on the pole vault." And then you had like people thirsting over the Croatian water polo team.
Yes.
All of them, any water polo team.
Well, but the
I didn't see the
Croatian
Croatians.
ones were big, beefy, thicker guys. So like more bare body than anything, and
yeah,
people
they're
were
not your
like
typical. That team was not your typical,
Olympian
swimmer build.
physique.
Well, it doesn't know because water polo, you don't like.
You don't need to have it.
Yeah.
And people were also loving a lot of the divers, especially I think it was it a Mexican diver? I think
All
it was.
divers.
There's
Who
a Mexican and a French diver.
there was some
Oh,
who
the French diver with the bulge? Yeah.
who couldn't keep it contained.
It was Bulgisha.
He made a splash
yeah.
every time.
And I mean, and this was
Diego
also
Beleza.
this was also this Olympics had the highest number of proposals with 7 among
Athletes
the Olympians.
proposing to each
Yeah, yep. And I was like, that's kind of cool. We even
That's
had
cute, yeah.
female rugby players after they won the bronze. The U.S. rugby players, one proposed to her girlfriend, who was actually on the team as well.
amazing.
So
I think that
No.
I didn't get to
For
watch
France.
the rowers because they're hot.
And
And,
they
then
won.
I think I was texting you guys
Bronze?
like the
First time in U.S. history that
the rowers.
not history, but for a really long time they won a medal.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that. The other thing that I was like actually the more I think about it was cool was the white water rafting things because they're hot too, but like half of them is in their little canoe and you can't tell until they get out and you're like, oh hello.
well, and this year also had 4 new events. So you had surfing.
Okay, that was confusing because we were watching and I was like,
Tahiti.
I'm like, that's not France,
No, it's the Polynesian French Islands.
right? And I was like, oh, okay.
Which is actually one of the most dangerous areas to surf.
But can you imagine, like, oh yeah, you're gonna go
Tahiti.
compete in the Olympics, but you don't get to go to Paris.
Wow.
Like,
Well,
they didn't get to go to Paris.
But you're still an Olympian.
I
so-
know, but like, no Paris for you.
But you got to go to Tahiti, which
Yeah.
is beautiful.
I don't
And
know,
then
yeah, I
you
guess.
also had you had skateboarding.
Skateboarding wasn't a sport?
No, it was before.
And was it?
It's been
because it
before.
was. They said it was new for this year.
Maybe there's a certain event.
Yeah.
Because it's like okay.
Because didn't Tony Hawk compete in the Olympics?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You also have sport climbing.
Sport climbing.
Right. They go up those walls in like a second.
Okay, so the guy, the American, who broke his own world record and didn't win gold because he didn't. He lost one of his heats. So you have to win all 3 heats to win gold. He didn't win one of his heats, and so even though he broke his own record, he broke his record twice at the Olympics for speed climbing.
Oh my god!
So he was the fastest.
The rules
but he
are
was
so
not
crazy.
cumulatively the fastest.
Correct.
Oh
So-
my! For real?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
did his last time just like suck?
Yep.
Oh man!
And then the big one
You
was
have to be the best all the time.
breaking.
Oh my god!
So breakdancing, which was like very controversial.
Yeah, divisive.
And because you not only what people were like, I don't think this is a sport, even though I say it is because like it requires a lot of gymnastic ability.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
But also with the Australian
Rachel
dancer Ray Gunn, as some of you know, was out there and did not do well. She lost all 3 of her heats, 18-0.
Yep.
So she did not get 1 point in any of her heats. There is now a petition that has 57,000 signatures already in Australia to have her apologize, and an investigation started in how she got on the Olympic team.
I would like to.
I read an article about that today because I was looking, and I think it just came out, but like she actually qualified, and
Well,
that's the thing,
to Australia standards.
right?
Well, also supposedly her husband was on the selection team. So they want to get looked into that.
Yeah.
And she has a PhD in cultural
Cultural,
studies,
yeah, studies.
which is predominantly within breakdancing and how dance and stuff.
But like my thing is, it's like how was there only one from Australia? Like there wasn't others,
you can't
No,
tell
she
me
was
you
the
didn't-
one that won. She won all of this stuff. that
right?
led to that.
So, but that just I'm like then obviously the
But
breakdancing is
in
not
her-
great in Australia.
But in her interview, she's like, I knew I couldn't compete with those other girls with their tricks and everything, so I just went out there and did my own thing. It's like, no, girl, the tricks are what you have to do. That's what you get points on.
I
You
wonder if
have
she
to know how to do
wonder
that.
if she like got in her head or something because it was bad.
No, don't give her. No, it was not good. The thing that you shared, which this is my thing about theory about like the folks that competed as the breakdancers, which were almost like the most like amazing breakdancers that are out there in the world. Were like, no thanks Olympics. Like you're missing the point of breakdancing,
Right.
which is like no, not this.
Oh, so you got like
get
the
like
C team.
public version of the folks.
You get
that
a
are,
very
like,
white,
yes
washed
whitewashed
version of breakdancing. It was very specific in what they wanted to see. You had to do windmills, you had to do this and that, and it was
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah. And so it was like, okay, so we'll not be coming back for
I
2028 in LA.
support that. I support that because the folks that actually are like the most amazing breakdancers that you can see on the internet clearly
Right.
were not there at the Olympics. So.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, but also like the judging of those things. What I was like interested about is that a lot of the judging on some of these things is all subjective. Like gymnastics, it's like I think you did a good job. Like there
No,
isn't
they have points.
right, but the points are like this.
It's very
but-
specific. Gymnastics is a bad example of that. Like
I
they're
think- I
very
think-
specific about gymnastics.
I think they're doing the best they can to make it as scientific as possible.
Right, right.
But there is always the perception
Right.
of the judge, right?
Yeah.
And so
Well, and the Russian team was like trying to sue to change the rules because they're like it's not fair that Simone Biles is at this additional level. So even at this stuff, her difficulty level is above anybody else. So she's automatically going to get more points just because.
right.
Yeah.
She could do
Difficulty
her
scores.
trick badly and she'll still get more points.
She'll get
than
more
someone
points.
Yeah, and
who
then-
works
I kind of want to
perfectly.
be like, wow.
Well, and it's crazy too because when you listen to the commentators who are usually ex-Olympians, they're like, we don't know what the points are going to be. So if it was scientific, then it would be easy to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of subjectivity to it.
There is a lot
and
of
I was
that.
listening to some commentary about like how like for gymnastics, and it's all specifically to gymnastics, but like if you have
gymnastics.
like you're graded against yourself. So if you like toe touch on something, they're going to make sure that you don't do that. But if you do, you get marks down because you always do it. And it's like, oh, interesting.
I want to give props to Simone Biles for the idea that, like, the last Olympics, she had a moment.
She pieced out.
And she was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Well, this is...
And she came back and just, like, full force, unapologetic. And
also
that
proponent of
is-
therapy, yeah.
And that's
I really
the
do.
best ad you can have for mental health.
100%.
Yes.
Because it's like people gave her so much shit.
Right.
Like, just suck it up and do it already. But it's like she went away.
Yeah.
Did
I
her
remember
shit
that.
she needed to do. Got her mind together.
Yeah.
Came back and beat people's ass.
And she
so incredible to watch.
she still had an injury.
Yes.
Like you saw her. This is what blew my mind. She did a routine and then she limped off the jumpy stage thing. I was like, damn girl.
They all do.
They all do.
But like they all do that. Like there are people who have like had a broken leg and still went up there and did
Terry
something.
Struck.
I'm like,
Oh yeah. And then like didn't like Mary Lou Retton do like the
Similar kind of
vault where she had broken
It had to land on one leg or something.
Yeah, she had to land on one leg
Her-
because
weight couldn't support on the other leg.
because she had a broken leg.
Well, no, it was just like
It's
a
like a-
knee injury or
But
something.
also, they
she
weren't
couldn't bear her weight.
vaulting 12 feet in the air like Simone Biles.
no, but
But
Okay,
for the
so
time.
great thing on the on Instagram and different media outlets because you could see like they would show a performance from 1972.
I love those so
and then
much.
a performance today side by side, and the person's just like swinging back. and
Barely, or they like the thing where they have to like jump on the thing, and then it's like the horse thing that they
Do,
vault
like, a
or whatever.
single flip and land on your feet.
Not even. They just like jump up and then land on their feet, and it's like tens.
Tens
And
across
now
the
it's
board.
like oh, you have to do 7 spins.
Quadruple spin. Yeah.
All right, so I want to go through some of the numbers.
Okay.
So some of the numbers are 31 world records were broken.
Okay, Barbara Walters. 31 world records were broken at their weapons.
31 world records were broken at the games.
You kind of sounded like Trump talking to Elon Musk.
I
right there.
know, right?
It was a cell phone, not him. He didn't slur.
400,000 hot dogs were sold at venues.
That's a very odd statistic to track. Why hot
That's my favorite
dogs?
one.
I don't
It's
know
a
because
dog.
Why didn't they try the croissant?
well,
Oh, no,
here
they
we go. 4,000 pastries were eaten a day in the Olympic Village by the athletes.
If they need their card.
Wait,
Yes.
4,000 per person?
No, every day.
How many athletes were there?
It's about
A lot.
14,000, I think.
Only 4,000 pastries?
Yeah, I know. But we're not done yet. 600 baguettes
Okay.
and 3,000 muffins. The bakery was the star, especially the chocolate
The
muffins.
chocolate, I saw those look really good.
They were huge. They were like, what was the guy, the Swedish swimmer, I think, or something was Henriksen. Victor, him.
Yeah. Oh, the French guy.
Yeah, he loved the muffins because they were more of an American style muffin. And then they even had bread making classes that the athletes could take when they're not out doing their
that so
thing.
much.
I thought that was so cool.
I
All right,
mean, yeah, I'm
so
down for that.
9.5 million tickets were bought by spectators from 222 different countries.
Wow.
Grenada, with a population at 112,000 people, was the most successful nation when it comes to medals won based on the size of the nation.
Oh,
because they
that's cool.
2
Per
medals.
capita populace.
So they had 2. So it was a 1 medal per 56,289
Go Granada.
people. So you also had winners like the Filipino gymnast.
Yes, so amazing.
Yeah, he was
He
great.
gets a house and cash from it. Did you see
So
that?
okay, so
Here
here we go. So some of the things that people get, like medal winners, get money from their country. So
In other non-U.S. countries.
yes, another non-U.S. country. So in Hong Kong, if you get a gold, you get $768,000.
Yeah.
In Singapore, you get $745,000. So and it goes down from there depending on where you go. The United States pays out $38,000
After taxes.
after taxes.
Yeah, that's not a lot. Do you get sponsorships or whatever, maybe?
Sponsors are
Yeah, that's why in the U.S. it's a little bit different because a lot of them have contracts and stuff. Like the basketball players don't really need the money.
Right.
It's more for the notoriety and say I'm an Olympic gold medalist.
Interesting.
South Korean medalists are awarded pensions in addition to winning prize money in the form of an annuity or lump sum. If for getting on the podium at the Tokyo Olympics, Indonesian badminton players also won 5 cows, a meatball restaurant, and a new house.
A meatball restaurant?
So much.
Carlos Yulo, the Filipino gymnast who won 2 gold medals, he will be taking home a fully furnished 3-bedroom condo, along with a lifetime of free cookies, ramen, academic credits, and even colonoscopies.
I know. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
Well, yeah. When you're eating ramen and cookies, you need the colonoscopies.
I'm sorry, but that gift is just full of shit.
Yeah. Okay. I like the cookies though. That's a good one.
You would love that, right?
So I have to go. Where is it? The Philippines?
Yes, the Philippines.
Okay, I need to become a
win the
Philippine
Olympics.
citizen and then find out a sport I can compete in the Olympics.
And then if you watch the Olympics, when they got their gold medal, they also had a little box. And
What
in
was the
that
box?
box, there was a poster of the Olympics. It was like a specially made poster for the Olympics.
Oh, cool.
That had all the different,
That's why I was wondering what it was. I didn't know.
And,
you know,
and didn't Louis Vuitton do all the box
Louis
designs?
Vuitton made the boxes for the actual medals
For the
that they go
medals,
into.
yeah.
And if you saw it during the opening ceremony, they had the giant
Yeah, I saw
trunk
those.
type
Yeah.
of things. So that was amazing.
That's
cool.
what everybody's bringing to the cruise for their luggage.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was cool that all the medals had pieces of the Eiffel Tower.
Yes, had a little bit of pieces of the Eiffel
was
Tower
awesome.
in there, so I thought that was kind of cool.
But I'm also kind of like, that's a lot of metal. Like,
They just renovated it.
I think there's some scrap pieces from the.
how do
Yeah.
you know if yours is
It was-
authentic?
Paris was a great.
Does it
marketing
have a
campaign.
certificate of authenticity?
What do we do with this extra scrap metal from the
Minted
Do you
condition.
know how many churches around the world have a piece of the real cross?
Right.
You know, and-
So I was wondering why they called it the Paris Olympics and not Wii Sports.
Oh my God! Go home.
All right, so a couple other things is they had 200,000 condoms available for the male athletes, and I think like 78 or 80,000 for the female athletes.
They were not fucking in that heat though on those cardboard beds.
I think they were.
Really?
I think they were too.
Damn. Well, they had nothing better to do.
There's a lot
So.
of pent up.
Yeah, especially after you're done with your
Yeah.
Event.
with your event and like right after the closing ceremonies.
Because you have to
Like-
stay the whole time, right?
So I have a little bit of that for you.
Spill
okay.
the tea, girl.
So in the Olympic Village, athletes can opt of staying out of the Olympic Village due to different reasons like celebrity status or security concerns, but they must leave 48 hours after their competition ends.
Okay.
They can then come back the day of the closing ceremonies and
They have to leave Paris?
No, they have to leave the Olympic Village.
If you're staying there.
So you can't stay there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So,
2
but
days
then you
after
come
your
back for the closing ceremony and you can go in.
Oh, so you can only be there until your event.
And then you have
And then
48
you have to
hours
leave.
after.
So-
because it keeps you from distracting the
Other
other
people.
Olympians who still have to do their events.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stop.
and during the
Fuck
closing
everybody.
ceremony, some of the flags were coming in with surrogate.
With no one.
Yeah, no one from the country
Some of the
staying
volunteers. And I was like, oh, somebody had to probably had to go home,
Yeah.
during that time. Okay.
Interesting.
But yeah, the heat was horrible. The rats were horrible. America brought their own
chef.
air conditioners for that.
Really?
They brought their own.
And they brought their own chef.
chef.
Like
course they did.
personal air conditioners?
Yeah.
Like
for the
little
rooms.
portables?
Yeah. Because they already knew it was going to be hot and there was going to be AC in the.
That is so American.
Okay, let's talk about making people swim in the Seine for athletic events.
The poo water.
They
Well,
were monitoring it.
They said that they
mayor
cleaned it
swam
up.
in it
Merde.
They said they cleaned it up.
until they started throwing up.
I was like, you're an Olympian. You just have to work through that shit. Buck up.
Literally.
And do you know what they can do after they go swimming in the Seine?
What can they do?
They can go back to the Olympic Village and get free healthcare.
I know.
Because I was like, did you see? There was a
I would
the
just like wait
Olympians.
to see like I would just like stockpile all my things. Like,
Well-
there's a dermatologist, an endocrinologist. I just made that
Well,
up.
one of the American athletes, she went and she had a year's worth of doctor's visits done in the Olympic Village. So, like, she had a pap smear done.
Good at girl.
She got glasses. She had dental work done. All this stuff.
Although our friend's a doctor, and he was saying when we were at this end of the thing party, he was like, none of those tests are valid in the U.S. Like, they will not honor any of those prescriptions or tests. Like, they're just going to retest her when she comes back anyway.
Well, but like you're still good. Like, at least
like,
you
if they
know.
found out that she had an issue there, when she comes back, they're going to redo the pap smear.
But you still got free glasses.
Got free
You still
glasses.
got a cleaning, and you still probably...
And you got your coochie smeared, girl.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Somebody fucked your boob up so you got a breast cancer check.
Yeah, and it felt good.
So I want to ask, like, what was everybody's like favorite moment of the Olympics? What was your top moment?
The shot putters. 'Cause-
They were amazing.
yeah, they were amazing.
Oh, you.
I was more for like how good they looked.
They can handle their balls.
I think mine
They
would have
can handle
been
their balls.
the opening Celine Dion opening ceremony with the torching, and then I love the stories of like the older Olympians. Like there was a guy that was like, and this is crazy because he's like 30, but he was a swimmer. I don't know what his name was, but maybe Fink or something was his last name. But he's like a full-time project manager for a software company, and he was like, I'm gonna just go and try my hardest. I qualified, and I think he got silver.
Wow.
And it was like really motivational, and he was like, yeah, you know, like his wife was, I think, another Olympian or whatever, a swimmer, and I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, I love these.
Well, the oldest Olympian this year was 65.
for what? Breakdancing.
No, they're in an equestrian event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
that
the
makes sense.
youngest was 12.
Oh my god.
For
So-
gymnastics.
Probably.
Yeah.
For one of those like...
They age out at 18. Like, I'm surprised Simone Biles.
But
Still
I think
doing it.
another one of my favorite moments was, is it Amani Khalif? Yeah, Amani Khalif from Algeria, who still won gold, even though everybody was transvestigating her the entire time.
Right. Yeah, because she
Imani
had like
Khalif,
elevated
yeah.
testosterone
From
levels or
Algeria.
whatever, and everyone's like, "You're a man."
I
And
love
it's
that
like,
story.
no, I'm. And she's suing Elon Musk and like J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
I think for like
Yeah, she named them in their cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying, yeah.
And they left the lawsuit kind of broad, so it'll encompass anybody who said anything.
Well, did you also see that J.K. Rowling was like, I'll go to jail for this?
Yeah, she said that
I'm
in
like-
2023.
I'm like,
So-
good. I'm glad.
well, now you get a chance to
Honor
make that
that
real,
wish.
girl. Because
I have to say my favorite moment was the decathlon. Have you like these Olympians have to do 10 events over the course of 2 days, and it's like high jump, running. They do a little bit of swimming. They do like the shot put. They do the javelin. They do the long jump.
It's like every track and field event.
Every
I thought
track and field
javelin
event.
was ousted as a thing.
They still do it for this event, for the decathlon.
Really?
And it's like the fact that they do these 10 really hard things, and then like their scores add up to be the. And the gentleman who won it this year was like 22 years old from Sweden.
Oh.
what about you, Andy?
I like the precision sport. So like synchronized swimming, the
Yes.
precision diving, the team diving, where they have to
Yes.
do exactly the same thing, and they have raised that to such an amazing level now. You know,
China did really.
They were like
amazing.
one person, and you like Simone Biles. You watch people do this sport that is their life, and people only watch it like every 4 years. That's
Yeah.
really incredible. And the Turkish guy that went out and shot and like didn't give a damn.
Oh yeah. He just was like he was raw dogging it.
I said
That's
a
raw
message
dogging.
to you, Paul, and I was like, "This would be you in the Olympics. Like what? Like it's hard. Just, like, just gotta shoot this thing. What? Like it's
nice
hard."
glasses you got there.
I'm a cross between him and the other one who like had the rifle. It was arching its back with all the
Yes.
Wait, there was a girl too that looked like
South-
video game
South
character.
Korea.
Yeah.
and she was like leaning, and I was like, with the glasses,
glasses
and like the
everything.
little like thing that goes over and like shields. I was like, this is the best.
One of my favorites also was Alana Mayer from the U.S. rugby team, and she's just like an amazing content creator. Like she had so much great stuff on TikTok and Reels about what's happening at the Olympic Village and the Olympics and everything. And I mean, and she's another one that they were like, they like to
so much.
transvestigate.
Oh my god!
Because like, you know, she has a build like a man and all this stuff. So
They need to
like,
transvestigate themselves.
Okay.
Well, but this is a thing that is happening all over the world, and
Yeah.
in the U.S., people have resources where they can fight these things
Yeah.
and make it public. But there are countries where, like,
It's
one
illegal.
of their runners couldn't run because their testosterone levels were too high, or they weren't, you know, and they got this letter 9 months ago telling them they couldn't qualify. Like,
Yeah.
And they don't have resources to do that. They can barely afford to send someone.
Yeah.
The business of the Olympics is actually a really interesting thing when you.
It's
when
like
you
very
think about-
elite.
Well, if you think about like breakdancing and rock climbing, what they're trying to do is get people watching. You know, this is all a grab for money and sponsorship.
That's
right, in
true.
the long run.
Yeah.
The Olympic rings are the most defended trademark in the world. The U.S. Olympic Committee and the International Olympic Committee
Really?
are one of the most litigious people
Wow.
defending, because anyone who puts those rings on an ad has to be a sponsor.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow. I guess licensing, right, or
Yeah,
whatever.
You know, like how we can't, people can't say March Madness in the U.S. because of
because it's
people will say
trademarked.
that basketball event, you know.
Oh, you can't say March
You
Madness?
can't say March
I guess,
Madness
yeah,
without
over.
being a sponsor.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but worldwide for the Olympics.
Ew.
My friend Hunter, who is going to eventually be a guest on our podcast about this very thing, he's like, he posted something which is like, there's a photo of the moon that's like right in the middle of the rings.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, this is actually against the brand standards of the Olympics. To have
that picture.
to have the Olympic rings to be clear from any object. Like that's a brand
Interesting.
So like this photo it's a really cool, stunning photo of the Eiffel Tower with the moon with the Olympic rings going through it is actually technically against Olympic brand standards.
Oh Lord.
You know what was
Isn't that
also,
crazy?
You know what also was my favorite? Was how the Paris Olympics logo looked like Mary J. Blige.
Oh my god, yeah. Wait, what's this? Let's get it percolated. No, that's not her.
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
What song is that? Family Drama? No. Come on, let's get it. What song is that? I don't know.
Family Affair.
Family Affair.
There you go.
Yes. I'm getting crunk.
All right, Jordan, you have something about Jordan Childs?
Who's Jordan Childs?
She's the one that's getting her
Is that her
medal,
name?
Medal. taken
Yeah,
away.
no, that's why it was just. It's interesting because like she got bronze in gymnastics. I don't know if this is the same person, but they revoked her medal because the other people were like, "Oh no, like you didn't do it in time," and then the U.S. was like, "Actually, she did. We have a video of them doing it," but then they're not. I don't think they're getting anything.
So I think what it was is they were supposed to. Within a minute, you're supposed to
Submit a claim or whatever.
or something.
rebuttal
And they
or
said it
whatever.
was a minute and 4 seconds.
I think it was.
That they
It was
submitted
actually
it.
47.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but like and now they're possibly going to give her the.
I don't know what the status is,
Yeah.
but it's just interesting.
Doesn't
how,
matter.
like-
Flava Flav is making her his own Olympic bronze medal. Have you seen it? With
I
like,
mean-
the gold, like, he was all about the Olympics.
You know, some people just get really into it, and I was like, Flavor Flav is really into the Olympics. Like that to me is crazy.
He also disappeared after Flavor of Love, and I have no idea what's going on with him.
Okay, but you know he's going to be at the 2028 Olympics because that's in Los Angeles. Which they
Is
are
he the
going-
Snoop Dogg of
He might-
2028?
They should. That would be awesome.
Which I can't wait for us to talk about that eventually in an episode because I have a whole thing about the LA Olympics that we have to talk about.
But like, okay, so one of the things I just want to bring this up is they are going to ban you being able to drive to the venues to see the.
Good luck.
They only want to use public transportation.
Oh my! They have, you know what? They have 4 years
They
to
have 4 years
fix
to build
it.
now.
Wait, that means that we have a chance to maybe see an Olympic event.
Well, there might be venues down here.
Because they
They did
could be
the
doing
horses.
surfing. They could do surfing off of La Jolla.
And they did equestrian down in Rancho Santa Fe.
Yeah.
If I remember the last time that
There's
they did
any
LA.
weights. You know, there could be any number of things happening in San Diego.
But also,
just
we
don't
could
know.
just take the train up. There you
It's gonna
go.
be a very expensive train during the Olympics.
Well,
Yeah.
then that's fine.
Well, we have 4 years to think
save
about
up.
it.
You know
guys.
what? Yeah, I'm going to start saving now.
By then, our social media will be we'll be invited.
Yeah.
No,
we'll be
because we're hosting commentary on the opening ceremony.
Yeah, the opening ceremony.
Oh my God.
And
If
if,
USOC wants to hire, they're available.
and if they don't open with Miley Cyrus doing Party in the USA, I swear to God.
If they don't nod my hips like yeah, then I'm not doing it.
All right, everyone. Have a great week. Thanks.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to These Unprecedented Gays. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and join us next time as we continue exploring the ever-changing landscape of queer life. Until then, stay proud, stay fierce, and stay unprecedented.